Hello, and welcome. Welcome to the Fit Over 40 Challenge Show, the number one health and fitness show for those of you in the club. Yes, that's right. I'm talking about the 40 and over club. And my name is Coach Dave, and I'm super excited to bring you this next episode called The Only Fitness Lesson You Need. But before I do that, I just wanted to take a second and I wanted to invite you to a free group or tribe, I like to call it, where we're all about helping each other, all about creating momentum, and all about fitness and health. And you can go to www.allabouthealthandfitness.com. Again, that's allabouthealthandfitness.com. And you can join that free group. It's on Facebook. So I look forward to meeting you in there as I spend a lot of time in there. But before we go ahead and let's get started. And today, as I said just a second ago, the title of today's show is The Only Fitness Lesson You Need. And I'm really excited about bringing you today's show because last week, and again, depending on when you're listening to this, I had the opportunity to go to a conference. And every year I try to do this. And one reason is that it really reignites my passion. And I get to be around a lot of smart people in the health and fitness industry that just are really doing amazing things. And it just helps me elevate my game and allows me to learn. And that's the other part of the reason that I go to is because I do need to get continuing education credits to continue to uphold my certifications. And then it's just important that I uphold, that knowledge to bring you. Because again, I don't know everything. And sometimes things I thought I knew are debunked and, presented in a different way and said, hey, this is what we thought before. Now we don't. And they do the research. And that's the thing is that there's science behind it. These presentations are a lot of times given by people who are exercise physiologists that are in the lab and they're doing the research and then they're publishing it. So I'm really excited about bringing you that show today with all the knowledge that I absorbed last week and just the excitement and passion that I have. And the reason why that I say that it's the only fitness lesson you need, and that's what I want to present on, is because, again, they presented a lot of different information and different ways of doing things. They test different things. And what I kind of got out of it from a lot of the different presenters, each one obviously had their own take on things, but they talked about progress and they talked about not being perfect. And that's why I felt that today's show needs to focus in on that, because a lot of times when I talk to people, they're always looking for a specific number on the scale, okay? Or maybe they're always looking for a specific dress size or size in their jeans. And while having this goal is great, it's not going to ensure your success, okay? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I want you to think about how many people you know who have had a specific number, that scale number that they wanted to reach. I mean, I hear it all the time. I'm sure some of you hear it, especially maybe during the new year. And maybe you're one of them, okay? And this number sometimes gets posted maybe on your mirror, on your refrigerator, and that's your goal, right? It's on that sticky note. And it's reminding you to watch what you eat and consistently make it to the gym and work out. And so maybe you have updated this number and it got recorded every day to help you enforce that accountability. But let me ask you this. How long did that last? A week? 2 weeks? Now, the statistics that I've seen dictate that it likely didn't last longer than a few weeks until that so-called, and I quote with my hands, those of you that can't see me because this is a podcast, goal number begin to fade from your life. And then, then you take it down from the fridge, or you started and stared at it defiantly until you finally, reached for those off limits food. And you began to look at that number as an adversary rather than something good. Okay. I think, and I'm trying to remember how the presenter said it, but it said something that they would tell their clients not to eat. Oh, that's what it was. It was Oreos. He would tell his clients that Oreos are bad and to not eat Oreos. The client even said to the presenter that spoke, "Oh, I know that. Oreos are bad. And, I'm not going to eat them." But when it comes to find out, when the food log got presented, the guy had eaten at like this one setting 20 some odd Oreos. And the trainer said, and I don't remember his name, he probably didn't even disclose it, but let's just say Joe. Joe, what's up with this? Because I know. You said not to eat them, but I kept thinking about them. And so the point was, the more you say don't do it, and the more you kind of, say that this is bad, the more likelihood you are to do it. So they changed that approach, and they decided that it's okay to eat an Oreo. It's okay to have that cheat meal. It's okay if you're not losing a pound a week. It's about the progress. Okay, and that's again what I'm going to talk about here. Okay, I'm going to clue you in that there's only one lesson that you need to know when it comes to fitness, fat loss, and achieving any goal. Okay, and listen up, because this one is definitely worthwhile. It's not about reaching a number. It's about progress and not perfection. Okay? This may go against everything you've ever come to believe about achieving a goal, but then your techniques haven't exactly been working. Let's be honest. I'm guilty at times too, so I'm not, excusing myself from it. But that number that you're hoping to magically be one day doesn't matter one bit, and here's why. It's all about living in the momentum. It's all about creating progress. Okay? Can you just remember? I want you to just kind of think about this. Remember how it felt the last time that you ate clean and you had a really good hard exercise and you got really good sleep for several days? What did that feel like? A feeling of momentum probably came over you, didn't it? Think about that. What did it feel like? There was a buzzing going on in your cells, and you were hitting this rhythm, and you felt. I really hope that you know what I'm talking about here, because if you haven't, I really hope that happens to you, because that's that momentum I'm talking about. You felt alive, you felt sexy, you felt empowered, and never mind that you weren't at your goal number. Again, the scale could have been the exact same number or maybe even a little bit higher, but you felt amazing and you were headed in that right direction. But see, then, getting down to your goal weight and fitting into your goal size comes down to that direct result of living in that state of momentum and progress for an extended period of time. Again, let me say that again, for an extended period of time. So when I'm talking about progress, yeah, you can make progress and then revert back, but it's over time that you want to continue to make progress and feed off of that momentum. I think John Maxwell says he calls it the big mo, and ride the big mo. And I just happened to be listening to Sports Center or Mike and Mike, one of those. They were talking about, they were discussing about whether or not the pitcher, Kershaw, should come in and, take down the Cubs' momentum because, right now, again, depending on when you listen to this, maybe the Cubs are in the World Series, but they talk about taking that momentum away from them. Okay, it's the opposite here for you. We want to continue to build off that momentum. All right, we want you to continue to get that feeling of where you feel alive and you feel sexy and you feel empowered. That's what's going to help you. Again, I'll give you just a little bit of example. I went on that trip, saw some family and friends, and they made some very nice comments to me. They said, hey, you're looking great. You lost weight. Those things, again, they mattered to me. It really helped me feel that sense that, hey, what I'm doing, the progress that I'm actually achieving is making a difference, okay? I might not be able to see it. The scale doesn't say it, and I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't lost weight because I believe I've gained more muscle and I've been losing body fat, so that's a good thing. But to get back to this, I want to challenge you, okay? My challenge and advice to you is to find the joy of living in the momentum. Feed off of that great feeling when you eat good, when you work out hard, when you get constant sleep. And there's two things, and this is kind of getting off track because I always do this, right? If you listen to any of my podcasts, I sometimes I get into different tangents. But there was two things that they said. There was two things that you wanted to do to actually see results. Was one, hydrate. We have a tendency not to drink enough water. And I know you've heard that. You can't tell me you've never heard that, because if you're listening to this, you at least have some sense of fitness, enthusiasm, and knowledge, and you've heard them say, 8 to 12 glasses or whatever of water a day. How many of you, though, are doing that? Listen, I'm going to be honest. Again, I want you to know that I might sit here and talk about, I struggle with these things too. I try to drink more water. I try to have the recommended amount. I don't reach that every day. Now, I've started to track it. That has really opened up my eyes. I realize I don't drink nearly enough water. I didn't drink nearly as much as I thought I did. But the other one to let you know is sleep. And that's why I said, when you're feeling good and you're getting enough sleep, how many of you, when's the last time you got, I won't even say 8 hours, because I remember doing a stress management lecture, talking to a group. I said 5 hours, and most people raised their hand. They got 5 hours of sleep. When I put 6, half the room dropped their hands. When I put 7, there was maybe like 4 people. When I put 8, maybe 1 person. 8 hours sleep. I know that sounds insane probably. You're like, there's no way. I don't need that much sleep. I don't require that much sleep. Listen, you want to lose weight, you want to see results, hydrate and lose sleep. Now, what I'm talking about, the bigger picture here, is that one lesson you need to know, okay, is feed off of that momentum. Feed off of that progress that you're making, okay? That is going to get you to where you want to be, okay? Focus only on the momentum, not on the number. The number will happen. Fitness is a way of life, and being lean is a lifestyle, neither of which can be had by going at it half-heartedly, okay? That's just, you have to put the effort in. You have to put the discipline in. And listen, we're coming up on the holidays. This is October that I'm doing this podcast. You might be listening right now, and it is the holidays. A lot of people struggle, different reasons, but you've got to be disciplined. This is not an easy task. It just isn't. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Everybody would be fit. We wouldn't have the problems that we're having, okay? So I want to challenge you, again, to find that joy in living in the momentum. And if you need some help to get started, I wanted to offer you my 7-day fat loss jumpstart program for free, okay? All you have to do is go to fitover40challenge.com/7-day fat loss. That's all one word, 7-day fat loss. And sign up. Get started. It's going to help you with that momentum. Again, create that momentum. And I can't remember if I've talked about a podcast on this or have actually written a blog post. I know I've talked about it somewhere, but I was reading up. They were talking about somebody asked Jerry Seinfeld how he was so successful with his career with Seinfeld and just being a comedian. And the advice he gave the guy was, he said, get a calendar. And he said, go ahead and take a red marker. And every day I want you to write jokes. And every day that you write jokes, I want you to put an X on that day. And then the key is not to break the chain. So put an X every day. So your challenge, your Seinfeld challenge, those of you that know Seinfeld, you should, if you're listening to this and you're 40, is to mark an X every day you make progress. Every day you do something. Again, that's what that 7-day fat loss challenge is all about. It's about 7 days starting a habit, starting momentum. Then from there, you can continue to work on bigger and better things. And eventually, you'll get there. So that's it. So I hope this resonated with you. I hope this inspired you. I mean, listen, my goal is to create change. I'm hoping that one thing I said today is going to fire you up. It's going to get that fire lit under you, and it's going to start helping you make the change that you so want. If you need anything, again, I'll be in that free Facebook group, allabouthealthandfitness.com. You can find me in there or send me an email at dave@davemcgarry.com. Love to hear your feedback on the podcast, on the show today, because that's what really gets me and keeps me going. So with that, I'm going to be signing off, and I hope you make it a great day and go make progress. Coach Dave.